Alright, hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to paint your longboarding trucks. I just was kind of bored yesterday and had some time and went ahead and painted one of my sets of calibers. So they're still kind of drying right now, but it's pretty easy. It'll only take about an afternoon to do, and then you got to let it dry for a couple of days. But it's a pretty simple process. So I had a pair of white calibers that they were just getting dinged up. They were pretty dirty. I didn't like the color white and never really rode them. So after a while, like, the calibers will, they'll start to chip and fade, and I don't know, they just don't look as good anymore. So you get the idea to paint them. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is take them completely apart. So yeah, the first thing you want to do is totally take them apart. Take your wheels off, take off the speed rings, the nuts. You gotta obviously detach it from the board, and then you have your kingpins, bushings, bushing seats, and some more nuts. Also, what you want to do is make sure that you take out the pivot cups as well. Right, now that you have completely taken them apart, what you want to do is you want to get like the type of solution that you would clean bearings in. I use isopropyl alcohol, and just gently, real lightly, get a towel wet and get all the dirt and grime off, all of it, so that it's just the bare metal. And then what you want to do is get a really fine sandpaper. I used like 800 grit. You can go finer. It's not a huge deal, but then lightly sand everything. And what this is going to do is it's going to smooth out the surface. It'll get out some of the little nicks and dings. These are bigger ones, so it didn't work that well, but what the sandpaper also does is it roughs it up a little bit, and it gives the paint something to stick onto. So after you're done with that, wipe it down and get all the little paint chips and dust off, and then you're getting ready to paint. So next step is you want to use painter's tape. Make sure it's painter's tape so that it doesn't leave any residue on the axle part right here. But what I did is I put tape around these so I didn't get any spray paint on this stuff, or on the end axles, and I also put it around here on the pivot cup, or not the pivot cup, the part that goes into the pivot cup right there. So when you've got that all taped up and you've got the pivot cups out of here, I just laid them down, and I used, everybody says to use different types of paint, but if you go to the store, I just use this Krylon black. It'll say, it can bond to metal, so you just want to make sure that you get a type of spray paint that bonds to metal, and you'll be fine. So I laid everything out, and I did probably 3 coats. This stuff says it dries in 10 minutes. I would do like a good solid coat, let it dry for about 30 minutes, come back, do another coat, half hour, and then after that was totally dry, I flipped all the pieces, did 2 more coats, and then what I did is I hung them up on a string, and I put them between 2 stakes, and then I did one final solid coat across the whole thing, and I let that dry for several hours. And then so after that had dried, came back, and you want to put like an enamel over everything, which will give it like the glossy, I don't know, you can see that's a nice glossy finish. It actually looks really, really well done. That's what the enamel does, is it gives it that shiny finish to it, and it also helps protect it. So what you want to do is, I did, I think, 2 coats of that, and same thing, you just leave this tape on and you go over it, get a good solid coat, and this stuff takes a little bit longer to dry. Don't take exactly my word for it. This stuff says it dries in 10 minutes. I allowed a half hour. Some people will say, do a coat of paint and then wait, a day before you do another one. I did these in an afternoon. I'm not, I'm not gonna have them look professional or anything, but they turned out really nicely as it is, so I'm pretty happy with them. But look on the can. If it says wait 15 minutes or wait a half hour, then You might want to go like a little bit longer just to be safe. I don't think you have to wait a day for any of this stuff. I put the 2 coats of enamel on yesterday evening, and they've been sitting overnight, so I've tried not to handle them too much, but this stuff dries in about an hour, so it's not going to come off. But so then you get this really nice looking glossy finish, and that's about all there is to it. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. And then you're ready to reassemble. Well, you can then take off the tape. So yeah, you get a really nice solid finish, and it doesn't get on that axle, and it actually looks really well done. So you can go ahead, and I'll take this tape off. Well, this is what they look like when they're all done, and as you can see, they look very clean, pretty well done. Takes about an afternoon, and you know, the spray paint and the materials won't cost very much at all, and you probably have some of it lying around the house already. So as you can see, this is, you know, if you want a little project, this is a pretty easy one to do. It doesn't take very long, and as far as I'm concerned, it turned out really well. And now I don't have any white caliber trucks. I've got a nice set of black ones that looks pretty fresh. So alright, well, there it is. That's how I painted my trucks. Didn't take me very long at all. As far as I'm concerned, they turned out really nicely, and this it's a pretty cheap project to do. So if you're interested, if you have any questions or comments, leave it in the box and let me know. If you've painted your trucks before, did it differently, and you want to share, go ahead and leave a comment. And if you feel so inclined, like, share, and subscribe.